What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the third episode of the ReadMe show. As you can see, we've suffered yet another problem with our cast. Sharon's dead, so...
and I'm here.
We kind of replaced Sharon with...
Another
he walked
person,
in through the door, okay? And
I
we had nobody.
Wait, I walked in to look at the cat. And then
it's a long story, but as we always say, the world of tech keeps moving on. It literally doesn't give a damn about our personal office problems. It literally doesn't give a damn
cat problems and cat problems and all
so
that.
forth. So with that said, let's get on to the news. Tech and tide wait for no man, or in the case of Twitter, no thing. But
what?
So with that said,
okay,
let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yes.
So the first thing we have on the list is Twitter. And the press poll this guy has been running.
The press poll hashtag.
Yeah.
So what happened was Twitter and social media were hugely active over the course of the Sri Lankan presidential elections and even for quite a while afterwards. And what we did was, after analysing the Facebook pages of various political candidates, we downloaded 18,000 tweets of the hashtag press poll and another 18,000 over the misspelled hashtag press poll. Press polls. Yeah. So we got that and we analysed the tweets and we when I say we, I mean I.
you have a map.
I threw them at GIFI and got a visual representation of the largest players in this.
And guess what? What's in the middle is Siripala's bot.
Yes, Siripala bot, which is a new entrant in the Sri Lankan Twitter space. It's basically something that retweets anything tagged with LKA. Has basically been watching the elections and it's been retweeting everything. So when we laid this out in a visual format, you had Mahinda Rajapaksa, you had all these other players, and then you had Siripala bot. So what we did was, we're showing you the picture right now. We've basically mapped out the parameters to size and color. Size indicates the number of outgoing tweets. Color indicates the number of incoming tweets, that is to say engagement. So as you can see, you have entities like President Rajapaksa putting out quite a lot of content into Twitter.
Former President
Rajapaksa, my bad. Putting out quite a lot of content into the Twitter scape and receiving quite a lot of engagement in return. Ironically, most of the others are not, get this, are not media sites. You would expect things like News First, or you would expect...
Oh, you mean like individual...
You would expect companies to be there, right? Actual reporting companies. But instead, the Twitter scape, the social media attention has shifted almost completely to individuals, individual reporters, individual retweeters, individual bloggers like Indy Samarjeeva, who has been blogging about politics and doing it quite well, mind you.
Individual.
So he's basically been getting the exact same amount of attention on Twitter as the current president of Sri Lanka, Maithripala Sirisena. That's quite huge.
Yeah, it's insane.
And everybody else all of these are personal accounts. It's interesting to see that when you have entire companies and all this infrastructure running social media accounts, you have these personal things coming on board. You have all these personal accounts coming to the forefront. It's quite interesting to see that kind of change.
Yeah, and you get a lot of political arguments on that.
You have a huge amount, and the back and forth is like
it's
enormous.
It's really interesting. Like Sri Lanka has going into it, like not like you find like third world countries going into this kind of a Twitter scape and commenting on things.
We have seen a huge amount of political engagement on social media. But again, on to the second. What was the second item on the list?
I think it was Sinhala on iOS.
Sinhala on iOS. Well, we've come across an app, link below. We've come across an app that is a Sinhala keyboard for iOS. I'm not an iOS fan, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Frankly speaking, I didn't know about it as well.
Yeah, he's an iOS fan and he doesn't know about it either, but just check it out if you like it.
Well, I have been quite late.
But hold on, speaking of smartphones, speaking of phones, Google, Project ARA.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Did you see that?
That's a freaking cool phone.
It's an amazing phone. You know, like almost a year ago, I was making this video on phone blocks. It was a really cool concept, and then Google said, "Hey, we're doing the same thing. Let's do it together." And we got Project ARA. Now, Project ARA launched in Puerto Rico, and the main unit, this is the main skeleton that's supposed to hook all these parts together, is $50. Now, in case you don't know what Project ARA is, it's a completely modular smartphone, and if it works out. What it is basically you have a single central frame onto which you can stack and switch components. So you can, if you don't want a large camera, you can throw the camera and you can have a bigger chunk of battery instead.
It gives the whole maker feeling to the phone.
Exactly. So you can customize your own smartphone, and if this works out like Google intends it to, I think it'll be the last smartphone I'll ever buy.
Yeah.
Definitely the last one.
That's true.
Yeah. So because we can completely keep upgrading this over time, and that's brilliant.
I actually hope that it won't fall like Google Glass. So
Google Glass has not fallen.
It's
To fall, one assumes a certain height.
okay.
To fall, one must first rise. Google Glass hasn't risen. I'm sorry,
Well-
Google, but that's just how it is.
Okay, let's not argue
Let's
to argue.
not get into an argument
Yeah.
with Google, right?
Yeah. I guess.
But what do we argue about then?
Yeah. So what we have next on the list is, I guess,
We've forgotten the list, haven't we?
no, 99X.
Ah, yes. 99X won an award.
The NBE award, which is National Business
NBS.
Excellence
Yes,
Award.
for National Business Excellence. Congratulations, 99X. It's really good to see a local company winning these awards. Moving on.
Okay.
That was too short for 99X.
It
I know,
was a
it
bit
was too
short.
short. Okay, what we have next is
He's forgotten everything.
I know.
This is a bit of a discussion, or rather an argument is going to happen. And let's get on to it.
Okay, it's about Android apps and what we
Let's
think.
go apps period, right?
Apps.
What do you think are the most useful phone apps of the last year?
Okay.
Of the last year, period. Like, that's a huge amount of time. A lot of apps to pick
Yeah.
from. What do you think are the most useful?
Okay, frankly speaking, I don't know which app came last year or what.
But it doesn't matter. Like,
okay,
if it existed
personally-
last year, if it was in use, if it was
Okay.
popular, you're allowed to have it in.
Okay, personally, there's one thing called Daily Finances that I use all
Okay.
the time,
Okay.
and then there's this Up24 app.
All right.
They have really upgraded that app so that you can use it with any kind of smart band.
Mm-hmm.
And then Google Mail, usual things.
Well,
Nothing
discount the
fancy
stuff
much.
that's from Google, because half of that comes. Actually, most of that comes pre-installed on Android,
Okay.
so you can't avoid it.
Okay.
Like, you can, but Google Maps will like be on a huge amount of devices, so we're not gonna.
Well,
look at that.
WhatsApp.
Right. See, now here's the interesting thing.
Okay.
All of that, except for the last suggestion, were basically bull. We did a small analysis, rather we conducted a whole bunch of random surveys, and we figured out a couple of things. Despite the fact that smartphones have all this power and all this capability and all these interesting app ideas coming up, you know what's most used?
What?
Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp,
The big threes.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So phones are still being used to communicate. Now,
That's a good thing. That's a good
it
thing.
is a good thing. I'm not arguing that. What I'm pointing out here is these are apps. These apps are basically experiences that work very well from the lowest end phone to the highest end phone. So what you're getting, regardless of how good your phone are, what you're basically saying is most people still buy the phone for the same purpose, and they do the same thing on it. And then you have a bunch of email clients. You have Flipboard, which is very popular. Flipboard is doing a really good thing with the UI. It's probably the only, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably the only reading app you can use while hanging from one arm from the 154 bus. Have you hung on that bus?
What about Medium app? I like that one too.
The Medium is it's only people like you read Medium.
What do you mean? Come on, it's really,
Only people like you read Medium.
it has really good content, you know,
I
like
love
philosophical things
reading,
and things.
and when I want to read good stuff, I go to ARA magazine. I don't go to Medium, because the
Yeah,
problem with Medium
I
right
don't
now.
know about that.
Problem with Medium right now is that Medium's accepting everybody. It used to have all the good people in it,
Yeah.
but now you have a lot of people in it, and the quality of the content has gone down.
Well, the curation problem, yes.
The curation problem. Like, when you have people like Dulita writing on Medium, obviously the quality is gonna drop.
Well, when you say
By, like,
a good thing,
this
you
is the
can't find
quality.
you that.
This is the quality curve.
Okay. I know, frankly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Microsoft is dropping support for Windows 7.
Well, I'm not
Why
sad.
would you
I'm
do
not-
that?
I'm not sad about that. So I'm not a Windows user.
He's a Mac user. He's a
I'm not-
heretic. He should be burnt. He will be burnt.
I'm
at
not.
stake.
I'm not.
Why would you drop support for Windows 7?
Just like they drop support for Windows XP.
It's 7 numbers ahead of whatever you started with.
Well,
It also leads better than 8. Well, it's not better, but it's
Yeah, I
easier to
agree.
use than 8.
without that horrible screen.
Like, why would you drop support for something that's so popular? That's like dropping support for ice cream.
I know.
Do you need Microsoft? Do you need us to tell you how to do your finances? Clearly you do.
Well, yeah.
Clearly they know nothing about products. We should tell them.
Well, they do a pretty
Tell
good
them.
job with
Tell them
Xbox.
also.
They do a pretty good job with Xbox. That's all I know about.
Let's not get into that.
Actually, get into
PC
that.
gaming master race, bro. Give me the Xbox.
Yeah.
Really? The Xbox?
Yeah.
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 I did a pretty good job with the Turtle once.
What do you mean?
Trust me, it was better than the job they did with Xbox. But yeah, go on. Interesting.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it. I'll get hammered. I don't know. I know nothing about PC gaming. No Xbox gaming. It's just I just played for It's just there, and I just played. Are we still on camera?
Yeah, I can't believe you just said that.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will wrap up the ReadMe show and we will kill this bugger. We'll sort of chop him up into little pieces, wire his nether regions to an electric light socket, and do other unspeakable things. While we do that, have a good day.
I won't let you literally butcher me. No, I'm not shutting up. You have to
turn off the mic.
No, I don't literally give up.
Done. Done.
Yes.
Nice one.
Okay, that's
Thank you
a
for
very
playing.
hard job to do, right? Pretty bad.
He's just forgotten
Do
everything.
you want the laptop?
Yeah, that would be a good.
That'd be nice at this stage.
The thing is,
Windows 0 days. Okay, my elbow hurts now. Okay, now it's hot.
yeah, let's read
Are we
it.
on video?
Yes.
Okay, we are on.